Well, we're about to start on a hike out Wild Burro Trail. It's a beautiful day, a little cooler maybe, and I came out here with Andy, and here's a picture of his new car. And we're going to go on the Wild Burro Trail. So I hope we enjoy the hike.
Do we need a map?
You can take one if you want.
I don't have one.
I have one in my car, but
Oh, that won't do.
and I would have brought it if I think for what we're going to do, we don't need a map.
Probably not, but this
But,
will be interesting.
I mean,
can have it in
as
case.
long as we stay on what I know, we don't need a map.
You know, the company that makes those things, Mutt Mitts,
Yeah,
that's who they sell to the East Bay Regional Park District as well.
yeah,
And they're here as well. And you can buy them
Yeah,
on
you
Amazon.
yeah.
See, this is just like tearing my knee up. There's this huge carpet over there.
I'm going to start my watch.
Okay, I did that. I'm assuming we're crossing here.
That's right.
You know, this hat is actually pretty damn good.
That's a great hat. The only thing you could use is something to go around your neck.
Yeah.
You know, you can buy those cowls or
Yeah.
neck.
Right here.
Yeah.
Is this like a stream where the water comes through?
Yeah.
It's flooding? Okay.
Well, it probably would have. I mean, I don't know if it flooded.
I take it dogs are allowed here.
I think so, yeah. At least here. I'm not sure whether they are farther up.
Is this a state park or what is it?
Hmm?
Are we in a state park?
No, this is a Marana
Okay, so the
area.
town of Marana or city of Marana?
Yes.
Okay. Pretty bright wind. We probably left 5 minutes ago, right? Well, 3 minutes and 45 seconds ago. How long has it been since you were here before?
Oh, a couple months maybe.
Okay. So not all that long ago.
I've been here twice,
Okay.
maybe 3 times. Twice, I think. Maybe 3 times.
Maybe this is the third or fourth time.
This might be the third time. What's going on here? Now we're going to go left.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows the Wild Burro Trail going both ways here.
I guess there's actually a fair number of trails, developed trails up here.
Uh-huh. Are we going too slowly?
Well, we can go at any speed you want.
Yeah, I remember this area was, they were selling lots in here, but there weren't. There wasn't anything built at the time. So is that the
That's the hotel.
yeah, the Ritz?
One of the things there is up in here,
Huh?
at certain places, they're petroglyphs.
What's a petroglyph?
Rock art,
Oh,
Indian rock art.
I bet there are rattlesnakes up here too.
Well, I'm sure. There are rattlesnakes everywhere.
I haven't seen one now for quite some time.
Yeah.
But then I don't walk along that trail.
Did you watch the video I sent you of our last hike?
Yeah. Morning.
Hi.
How are you?
Hey, how do you want?
No, it's too early to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up there to the left, they're supposed to be in the hills. There's supposed to be a lot of rock art.
Huh.
If you if you know the right place to go.
Yeah.
Of course, they don't exactly tell people.
Well, I'm sure they're worried about it being defaced.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder what this stuff is here that's like a hard surface.
Yeah.
'Cause
I wonder if they
it's partially been eroded.
kind of concreted it or something.
Yeah, it looks to me like some sort of stuff that they
Yeah.
almost like
Make
sprayed
a
on it
path.
maybe in the past.
I don't think they do that kind of thing anymore, but
Well, I bet they would, but I bet it's not cheap. I mean, you would have to have
yeah.
equipment, you know.
There's a rabbit.
Where? Oh, yeah.
The two of them.
Yep. Hi, rabbits. Ruby has had to learn not to mess with the rabbits. Maybe they just rolled sand or something.
Hmm?
I said maybe they just rolled sand or, I don't know, maybe not. Whatever they did, it didn't last forever.
These are the casitas, I think.
Which way here?
I think it goes left, but I'm not sure it matters. I think we can go either way. It's like two identical guys running by us.
Well, that one guy that's running just passed us back
I know, he made a
a few
loop.
minutes ago.
I don't see how he could have made a loop in that time.
Unless they're twins. Just identical.
Okay, now here. I think it's here. We make the choice. So we can either take the Wild Burro Trail to the left, which will be flat for another mile and a half. Or we can go right.
And then what
And
happens?
what happens is it climbs up in these rocks and goes along. And it comes out in the same place.
Is there a significant difference in how difficult that is?
Well, this one's a climb in the rocks. And that one is flat.
So this is hills?
Hmm?
A little climb here?
Yeah, it goes up in the rocks there and along, and it eventually rejoins this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of a little flat for me. I like a little challenge.
This way is flat,
Okay.
at least for a while.
Okay. Are there any good, like, hilly trails around? I mean,
Real hilly trails?
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with this area.
Yeah.
If you go out 2 miles here, then there's a pretty good hill up to the spring.
Okay.
And you can do that if you go this way too.
Okay.
Where you come out, if you go over here, is kind of right where the trail up the hill on the other side starts. So you get 2 chunks of hills if you do that.
So it meets up with that other trail?
Yeah. And when you do that, when you go out there, it's really nice because you come to an old well up on the top.
Okay.
And there's a home site up there, and there's
I read something. There was an old farmer's or rancher's home.
Yeah. So you can get up there, and you can go that way and get some hills, and then get some hills at the other end.
And There's signs, I guess.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's marked all the way.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it.
Yeah, sure.
Have a good walk.
Well, we can go this way.
If you don't mind, I would like to, only because
Okay.
of my knees. I've never had trouble with my left knee ever. So I'm wanting to.
Well, it may just be reacting to your
To the layoff.
right knee. Yeah, to your right knee being a little better.
Yeah, I mean, I think I did something to it.
And of course, one way to strengthen it is to do things like trail walking.
Well, the only problem with trail walking is when you have to do unexpected things.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's the problem with strengthening it that way. My preference is to not overdo it. So that I can't do anything, you know.
Yeah.
These boots are better than the other ones
That's good.
for hiking because they're a half size smaller. And I'm not used to the half size bigger
Uh-huh.
thing. It just makes it. So which way are we going?
Wild Burro.
Okay. What's up at Javelina?
Well, I don't really know. I haven't been on that. That would be hilly, though.
Yeah, well,
It's going to go back here toward the hotel.
here's the.
Yeah, you can see
Hang
on
on.
there.
I have to try to keep it from. So the red is Upper Javelina Trail.
Yeah, so we're right
Oh,
there.
it just goes.
Yeah, it
back.
goes up here. It actually goes quite a long way
Well,
into the hills.
not as long as the Wild Mustang Trail or the.
No.
Is the Wild Burro Trail is the biggest, longest one.
Well, if you go the whole way, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just mean that's how far it extends.
Right.
So the one we just passed was where
Lower
Alamo
Javelina.
Springs comes off.
Lower Javelina.
Oh, okay. Well, also Alamo Springs.
Well, we'll run into that up here too.
Yeah.
At the end.
No, that's fine.
And
I mean, this is much better than doing nothing, right?
yeah, this trail will not be too bothersome. We're hardly warmed up, of course. It isn't even a mile yet.
Yeah, 0.78. Well, it looks like there are two trails co-located here for right now.
Yeah. That blue one is the lower Javelina. The lower Javelina makes a loop.
Uh-huh.
And the last time I was here, I took the lower javelina, and then I came back on the lower javelina up in there. And I missed the place where it connected here. I mean, I did get on this trail, but I missed the junction. I didn't see the junction. So I'm kind of looking for it.
Well, do you want to see the map?
No, I mean, if I wanted to, I could get my map out. And
yeah, but I have one in the pocket.
It would be, I mean, my phone map would show exactly where the junction was. But
what the altitude is here.
oh, here's the junction.
Right. Right, so we want to...
We'll stay on the Wild Burro.
Yeah.
Well, this is a big junction. I don't see how I could have missed it.
It's what?
A big junction. I don't.
Well, yeah, but I bet if you're coming this way, you have to actually be looking for it. And it may have been marked more.
I may have. Anyway, that's pretty significant, that junction. Maybe I just wasn't looking for it.
Right.
Looks like some deer or peccaries.
What's that?
Some deer or some javelinas. Little footprints in the wash there.
Yeah. Whoa, that's a rattlesnake. Take a picture of it.
Oh yeah, wow.
You almost can't even see it. Is that a Mojave rattler?
I don't know.
I think it is.
I'll know when I put it in Strava, or in My Naturalist.
I think those stripes on the tail are, and it's the right kind of greenish color. This is not common for them to be out at this hour.
No, not as it heats up.
That one wasn't a huge one. Let's seem much larger.
maybe 30 inches.
Huh?
Maybe 30 inches long.
Yeah, but I mean also thickness too.
Yeah. You would think they'd have a lot to eat this year.
I'm sure they do have a lot to eat.
With all the
Rodents
and things.
yeah. I was watching. Do you think your video cam will have captured that?
I don't know. I should have tilted it down and taken it.
You what?
I should have tilted it down and gotten a good look at it.
Yeah.
Next time you step on one, tell me and I'll...
If I manage to step on it, you'll probably be doing more than... Every time I've encountered one that I've been walking with Ruby on, I always find them before she knows them.
Yeah.
She's worthless at finding snakes. Although dead ones she can find. They probably smell. When I see them strung out like that, I don't worry too much.
No.
It's when they're coiled up and waiting for you. Or rattling away. So does this go, I mean, so this is obviously Wild Burro Canyon, so does it go all the way up past that?
Yeah.
And does it go past the...
Yeah.
Okay.
It winds through the creek.
Yeah. Well, I just mean does it...
The creek goes through that canyon up
Yeah.
there, and it follows that pretty much.
Straight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonder if this is a hackberry.
I think that phone has a macro thing, you know, where you can get super close to it.
Yeah, you can zoom out.
No, but I mean you can get really,
Now you can look up at the rocks and see if you can.
What?
You can look up at the rocks and see if you can see petroglyphs.
See
But
what?
you can look up at the rocks and see if there are petroglyphs up there.
Oh.
But I haven't seen any along here. There is a place up here where there's a petroglyph rock.
How have you been tagged now?
Oh, now maybe this. See back of the saguaro there?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's a
Picture
dog.
of a coyote
Oh, okay, whatever.
or something. That's the kind of rock that has the dark patina
Yeah.
that they like to make the petroglyphs in, because they could hit it with a stone to make, you know, to break through that layer and
Right.
make the
And the image would be preserved.
pictures.
Bruce, did you see which bear won Fat Bear Week?
Hmm.
Did you see which bear won Fat Bear Week?
No.
You know what it is?
No, I saw some pictures.
Howdy. We did see a rattlesnake
Okay.
a little bit further back.
Okay, in the trail or just?
It was off
It was
the
in
trail
the
by the
trail,
time
but
we went.
It was off by the time we
Okay, cool. Well, you scared it away for us.
I'm just telling you that so you can be watching for
I
them.
appreciate it.
So Fat Bear Week is at Katmai Park in Alaska.
Oh,
And it's a fundraising mechanism, and so they have a competition to see which bear is the winner of Fat Bear Week. Because I guess they're,
they have lots of bears up there.
bulking up to get ready to hibernate.
Yeah.
So the winner this year was bear number 480, Otis. Last year it was bear number 747. It was actually much bigger than Otis. But Otis is apparently really popular. He's won like 3 or 4 times now over the years. And he's one of the oldest bears in that area.
A good eater.
Huh?
A good eater.
Yeah, apparently. They had a picture of him when he just came out of hibernation, and then another one like from recently.
Apparently Alaska's having a lot of COVID problems
Yeah,
this year.
what a shock. The states that are having trouble are the ones that are Republican. Where nobody's been vaccinated to speak of. So, does it go along the stream bed?
Yeah. Yes.
So apparently lower Javelina crosses
It
here.
starts off over here. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. I wonder how far up that goes. Have you been up it?
Yeah, no, not very high.
Oh, okay.
But then it goes along up, ups and down. Oh, here's a dead animal. No,
goes
that's
up and down
that's
and
a
what?
piece of wood. Goes up and down. Rocky. Probably not ideal for your knee, but it might work.
Oh, I see another guidepost up here.
Yeah.
Ruby has gone from not wanting to eat her kibble unless there's canned food in with it
Uh-huh.
to wanting to eat anything, whether it has canned food in it or not. I was going to put down her dog bowl with just kibble in it in the theory that it would, discourage her from eating it until she was really hungry.
Yeah.
She wanted to eat it right away, so I had to take it back up again, then surreptitiously put it back down before I left. She's now down to 49 pounds.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, about another 4, and then I'll have to adjust her diet a little bit. She's very hungry these days. Very hungry. So we're almost to 2 miles.
We can actually go either way here.
So Alamo and whatever is that?
This. Wild Burro goes over there.
Yeah, so
They
that's
both
what-
go to the same place for the
Well,
moment.
I guess I would rather make sure I'm on the,
Okay.
yeah, for now at least. I mean, I'd like to walk the other one, but I want to wait till I'm in better
Well, they're
shape.
both going up here to the... There's an old cabin here. And there's a spring.
Yeah. It's not running right now, though.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
there's the...
there's modern graffiti.
Hi, how are you?
There was a squirrel up there. I was trying to get a picture of it, but he wouldn't come out.
Well, at least some people have a dog.
Yeah.
So it looks like Wild Burro actually is not as flat right here. This
Well,
one
for the
climbs a little
moment.
bit. Huh? Yeah, for the moment.
Now,
that's
if
all
we
right.
go up there, we come to the spring. And you do this way too, so this goes up here to the old ranch house. Or whatever it is. There you go. Now, there should be an old cistern over here on the right, on the left rather. And
Oh, so the Wild Burro Trail goes up here.
I don't think you want to go up there. That's pretty steep. But I think what we want to do is go to that other one and go up the creek there.
Okay, that's fine.
And see if the pond has water in it. I doubt that it will, but there may be water running.
I guess we can climb down here.
You can.
See, this is where it's really super hard on my knees.
Yeah. This isn't very long though.
No, I see that. I wouldn't have come down if I thought it was very far. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a spur of the Alamo Springs Trail that we're on.
Yeah, you can go up there.
Well, which way do we actually want to
This
go?
is, well, if you go that way, it goes up along the cliffs.
This doesn't?
This is flatter.
Okay.
This just goes up here just a short way. You can see they think water's here.
Well, it probably was.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think here? I guess this is probably very reliable. This is 2 miles right here. Oh, yeah,
There.
Huh?
There's the old stock tank.
I'm sorry.
Here's where the old stock tank was. You see they built
Oh, right here.
a dam.
Yeah.
And
Well, this is going to be interesting.
it's all filled in now.
Well, there's a pipe, right? A drain pipe.
When I was up here before, this was running. There was the water coming out of there.
Yeah.
And I haven't been up past here.
Would you like to turn around?
No, I'm willing to go.
Okay.
More dam.
What's that? You think it goes that way, not this?
No, I said there's more dam over there.
Oh.
We can go however we want, but
Oh, I see right there, you mean?
yeah, that's concrete. Somebody,
Is it?
well,
It looks like rock. It looks like it's been messed with, though.
yeah, it's been put into place there.
Yeah. Oh, there's water right here.
It's getting wetter and wetter. Water.
Yep. rock little building.
Yeah.
Built there because it was closer to water.
Yeah. They were using it for a campsite. And
Who was?
the rancher.
Oh.
A real cave there. There's a water pocket.
Yeah. This doesn't look like it's particularly geologically stable, does it?
Probably. Well, I mean, compared with California, I think it's pretty stable.
No, but I just mean that the formations are not. I mean, I don't know that earthquakes would be common, but I just mean that
Yeah.
the nature of this, I mean, it's just sort of falling apart in places.
Yeah. Of course, this wash, once a little fault developed, this wash eroded it. Everything that
Well, yeah, I mean, water is certainly one of the.
and as the water, more and more water runs, it'll erode more and more. Big events.
I don't want to go too much farther up into here.
Yeah, okay.
Only because I'm not confident I'll be able to easily get out. For some reason, I got the impression that it was harder before you got to.
That it was what?
Well, there's a trail marker right up here.
Huh.
See?
Yeah.
I'm quite certain that there could be snakes hiding in.
No, this isn't the trail.
It isn't?
No, we saw where the Alamo Canyon cutoff went. I'm not saying it didn't go here at one point. It might have.
Well, this looks right there as though that's some of that trail that had that stuff sprayed on it, maybe. I think this is far enough for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, it's
Yeah.
just crawl on your knees stuff. I mean, I'd definitely be willing to tackle this once my knees get.
I'll go up here and see. Wow.
Yeah, there's a bear in there probably. Kind of early for bears to be hibernating though, is it?
Yeah, I don't think there are any bears up here.
Oh, they had a picture of bears recently in the paper in my area. There certainly could be snakes in there.
Well, but this is nice.
Yeah, it is. It's cool.
Come up here and
You could have a picnic up here.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be out of the sun. Yeah.
There's like a...
I don't think they're trying to encourage you to go any farther than this.
Oh, no. I think there's an area that could have been a pool at some point on the other side of this rock.
Oh, okay.
Big rock. And you could get up there if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm just not able to do that kind of thing right now. I mean,
But I think after a rain, there'd certainly be water in here.
oh, without a doubt, you can see that it's just now just
Yeah,
drying
it's
out.
really just dried up recently.
Yeah.
Now, the trail, the Wild Burro Trail,
Goes farther up.
goes up along there, yeah.
Can you see it? Have you
No,
been
I
on it?
can't see it.
Okay.
At least I can't recognize it.
Right.
But up on top of this, and I don't know how far up, I'm thinking we've gone 1/4 of a mile since the junction. I think my recollection is when I hiked it, it was about 3/4 of a mile.
Okay.
And when you get up there on top, there's a lookout point, and there's
I'll bet the view is magnificent.
an old cabin and a well. And I think the well is dry now, but it's quite deep, you know.
Yeah.
It's a dug well.
Was it drilled or dug?
I think it was a dug well,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
You know, I'm seriously going to have to consider a helmet for these bikes.
But it probably tapped into the water, this water that was the source of this
Yeah.
canyon here. Apparently the spring is called Alamo Spring or Burro Spring.
Oh, careful.
And there's a video of that hike.
There's a what?
I made a video of my hike up there.
Okay.
It's on YouTube.
Is it publicly accessible?
No.
Oh, you ought to make that stuff publicly accessible, because I think there are a lot of people who would like to see it, what it's like, you know, before they go.
Yeah. And then it was we probably want to go down here.
I'm not sure I do. I'll come back.
I see our footprints here.
Oh, I know. I wasn't going the way we came, definitely. There's no question about that.
That's a nice
First,
spot.
I need to tighten my shoelaces.
Yeah. Sure.
I have an appointment on November 3rd to have a scrape and burn on my latest little basal cell on my ankle here. You know, I just don't have the hip strength right now.
The thing that gets me is jumping down off these rocks.
Yes.
I can't jump distances anymore.
Well, what happens when you do? I mean,
don't
if you're
like
me, what happens is it hurts like hell.
Yeah,
And
well,
I don't have the hip
I
strength.
feel the shock all through my
Yeah.
leg.
Exactly.
It's probably arthritis.
Well, in my case, it's not arthritis. It's damage in there from 2 surgeries, another attendant. But also, what I notice is, you know, I don't have the strength to lower myself
Yeah.
properly anymore. I really have to work on that. Oh, look at that. There's actual water over there.
Yeah,
See
we
it?
came through that, yeah.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did. I took a
we?
picture of it.
Oh,
I
maybe
think.
we did. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, our footprints are here. Yeah. It's emerging from the ground. It's actually running here.
I don't remember seeing this exactly. I think we came over that way a little bit more. But this is better.
Well, here's our footprints.
Here's our what?
Footprints.
Well, there isn't just our footprints. It's lots of people's footprints.
No, it's true. Other people have been up here.
I don't remember this much water as I guess what I'm seeing. You know, if I can use my upper body, I'm better, you know.
You might benefit from having a stick or two.
Yeah. Maybe I'll go by Summit Hut and get a couple.
They're not cheap.
No, they're not.
And you know, I bought Lecky sticks online through eBay.
Yeah,
People sell them. They take them on a trip and then they sell them.
right.
And you can often pick them up. And especially if you don't care if they exactly match. And
How did I can't remember how I came up here.
well, you came up on those rocks and I came up on on the stairs there.
Oh, I know. I put my water bottle down.
Yeah.
See, that just lit me right up right there. The thing is, you know, you just can't give in to not doing this stuff either.
That's right. Yeah. If you give in, you lose the ability.
Well, you lose more of the ability.
Yeah.
Do you need help or you good?
What was that all about?
Well, the cap came off your water bottle.
I
You
lost
want a hand? Or you
half
good?
the water.
What?
I lost half the water.
Oh. Well, you've also got an extra thing there, too. You should probably do what I did, Bruce, which is to sit
Yeah,
down
I
and
think
lower
so.
yourself gradually. Is that going to work for you?
Well, if I get sitting down, that's the problem.
No, I hear you.
If I can do that.
That's why I don't want to do this kind of thing by myself, because if I hurt myself, I really need help, you know. I mean, even if I can't be gotten out of there, at least somebody can call.
Yep. Well, it's a good idea to go with somebody.
Well, it's also more fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I do enjoy these hikes. The other thing I find is there's a tendency for me to try to straighten my knees, and that's not good either.
You know, this coming down, for me, it's as much mental as it is physical. The jolt actually isn't that bad.
Well,
It's
I
just
find
that I have a fear of it.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I mean, you know, I'm not shocked. I certainly am more apprehensive on my way down.
That's
why
what.
I feel like I should have a full face covered helmet.
Well, sticks are very helpful for
Well, the only problem
that kind
with
of thing.
sticks is then you've got to find a way to climb down with them, you know, because it's not.
Well, you just stick it over the edge and put your weight on it. Use it as a foot.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. It's just when you're clambering over rocks like that, you also don't want to impale yourself in a stick.
The biggest risk I found with the sticks is that you're going along, maybe trying to hurry a little bit,
Yeah.
and the stick gets caught in the rock,
Right.
and you can't get it out in time to make the next step.
Well, if you're moving
so-
too fast, that's definitely it.
Yeah. So, but if you go slowly, annoyingly slowly, it's not a problem.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, I mean, patience is definitely a virtue with this kind of thing.
That's right. It really helps not to have any concern
That's
about.
why I don't, you know, I don't want to hold you up, but I also am not in a hurry myself, so I just, you know.
No, well, you're not holding me up. This is actually, it's nice for me because when I'm jogging, there are things I don't see.
Yeah, right. Well, because when you're jogging, you have to watch where you're going.
Yeah, and I'm going a little, right, your concentration is more focused. And you're going faster, so you're going by stuff.
Well, I have an important topic to raise.
Yeah?
Lunch.
Yes.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes, I have a thought.
Okay.
I thought we might like to go to La Hacienda,
Oh, okay.
which is the place where I got the food for
Yeah, that's fine.
our meal with Ellen.
Sure.
And I've never been to the restaurant, you know, I mean, eating in the restaurant. And we may be too early to miss the crowds,
Well,
but we can see what it's like.
yeah, that should be fun.
And
The other thing I want to ruminate about a bit is now that Ed is dead,
yeah,
I'm thinking that I might want to be closer or in Tucson. And, you know, the idea of a complex rather than a single family thing might be attractive.
something like we have.
Yeah, I mean,
There's one for
the
sale.
only challenge for me right now with that kind of thing, depending on what sort of complex it was, it would be Ruby. Because as it is right now, she can come in and go out as she pleases. And it makes it much more convenient for me in terms of, you know, if I need to come on things like this where I need to leave her for hours.
Oh, for Ruby, yeah. Well, you do have to, I mean, in our complex, which is the only one I really have experience with, everybody has a dog,
Right, but they walk them.
and they walk them.
Which, that's fine if I'm there. And I mean, I wouldn't see a problem with it from that point of view, but, you know, if I had to leave her for 4 or 5 hours, which, you know, isn't all that uncommon.
Well, she might bark.
Well, she might bark. I wasn't even thinking about that.
People
but mostly
might complain.
She needs to be able to come in and go out. So,
Well, that's true, although they do have patios now.
yeah.
I don't know how they'd look on letting your dog pee on the patio. I don't know how they could stop
Well, I
it, but
think if you hosed it off, I don't think it would be a problem to anybody. But
well,
you know, I think there are if I remember, there are like casitas and like Star Pass, for example,
Yeah.
which have like a little tiny yard like this. You
Well,
know?
there are a lot of them in Green Valley. There are not as many in Tucson. But maybe I haven't looked hard enough.
Well, I mean, there's no particular hurry, so I can afford to be. And in fact, right now is absolutely not the right time to be. Although, in a way,
Well,
if I could find the right property, it might minimize the $20,000 differential somewhat right now because of the expansion of the market pricing.
well, your house is worth more. But similarly, whatever you buy is going to be
Well,
worth
right,
more.
but the effect of a market of this kind is typically to make it so that if you're not, in other words, if you're willing to step down to a certain extent, you can trade across without too much.
Yeah, right.
So that's
Well,
what
the
I was
the
thinking.
2 bedrooms in our complex, which is certainly not the most expensive, but it's not the cheapest either,
Uh-huh.
is $220 or $230 for
Right, I remember you
for a
found
2-bedroom.
something that I
just recently.
yeah.
There's one for sale now right in our building, 9108. I don't even know how many bedrooms it is or what the price is. But if you
I
look,
don't know if I'd want to be that far north.
no,
I mean,
well,
the
no,
ideal
it is
thing
a
for
bit of
me
an
would be
issue.
like west side, you know.
It is a bit of an issue,
What is?
being that far north.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an issue. If you're going to look for a place you want to stay in permanently, you want something closer to Tucson probably, especially if you have a lot of...
I mean, if I didn't have Ruby to consider, I would absolutely think about one of those places like right downtown, you know, the high-rise
Yeah.
homes.
But there are a lot of 2 bedrooms. There are a lot of small places in Tucson.
Yeah.
I'm sure when they come up, they're snapped up because they're low price.
Oh, I'm sure. You know, I mean,
But-
I just don't have any real sense at this point of how much this kind of market condition with rapidly rising prices on what little there is on the market is going to persist.
I think it's going to persist for a while because nobody wants to raise interest rates.
Well,
And,
no, I mean, because
Uh,
the economy absolutely doesn't need it, but
right, and also, I mean,
big business doesn't want them
and
to go
the
up
fact
either.
is, if you look at what's going on in the world from a larger point of view,
Yeah.
you say the U.S. is infinitely better off than any other country in the world due to COVID. I mean, we've got a huge proportion vaccinated. We have,
That's really only true around here.
And
though.
there
I mean,
aren't
there's a
any-
few states.
and there aren't, yeah, but compared with other countries. Now, there's,
Well, only the poor countries are having that effect. I mean, a lot of places.
but yeah, but England is a wreck, not
Well,
only
but they're-
because of
they're
COVID.
fairly heavily vaccinated.
No, yeah, but not only because of COVID, but because they did it to themselves
Oh
with
yeah,
Brexit.
the whatchamacallit.
With Brexit,
Yeah.
they did it to themselves, and they're having a terrible time.
Well, and it's
And
gonna get worse.
France is awful. Germany is awful. Every place. I mean, Germany is probably as well off as anybody, and that's pretty bad. And they're all seeing hundreds of millions of refugees. And No, I don't think. I mean, China's economy is going to pot in China terms.
Yeah. Well,
They're
China's dealing with a totally new problem.
And they're about to have this giant collapse in real estate values.
Right.
And over loans.
Although I think whether that happens depends on what the government there decides to do about it.
Well, yeah, but the fact is,
if they let the air out of the balloon.
But they're making a lot of people are going to suffer.
Yeah.
Who invested in those apartment complexes and things.
Right.
And now who maybe can't pay for them and so on.
Right, well, I think there'll be some restructuring without a doubt.
Yeah. And they can't get their businesses open because of COVID. They have a coal shortage. They can't generate power. They're having to close factories down for parts of each day because of they don't have the coal to keep the...
Well, for one thing, they've decided that they had to manage the emissions from coal.
Yeah. Well, they...
and that...
and they can't get the coal.
They don't have the natural gas supplies.
No, and they can't get the coal either. There's...
well, that's probably good.
Yeah, well, in some sense it's good. But the Chinese are way behind everybody in converting off coal.
Right.
They've got so much in coal. But anyway, the fact is, compared with every place in the world, the economy here is really strong.
Right.
And actually, the Democrats will want to keep interest rates down.
Right.
And if the Republicans get in, based on history, they will keep interest rates down because they'll spend money for their people, either by cutting taxes or whatever, and they'll need low interest rates. And the fact is that U.S. interest rates are above everywhere else in the world.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, for treasury bills and things.
Oh, yeah.
We're paying actual interest, whereas in Europe and Japan and so on,
well, Japan
it's negative
got a
interest.
Serious problem with workforce weakness.
Yeah,
They don't have enough people. The birth rate there is not sustainable for what they need.
And of course, we have a problem with the workforce too. We don't have slaves.
If we stop building walls at the border.
The problem is we don't have slaves.
We don't have what?
We don't have slaves anymore.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that.
The Roman Empire.
We can have the effective thing by just letting Mexicans and
the Roman Empire solved the problem by having slaves.
Right.
And
they solved the problem for the rich people.
And then the Romans didn't have to work. And that's the problem in this country. Nobody wants to work. And I don't think of it as bad. They don't want to work at crummy jobs.
Right.
They want to work at good jobs. They'd be glad to work at good jobs.
Right.
But crummy jobs are the only ones on offer.
Right.
That's the problem.
Crummy jobs that don't pay anything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, crummy jobs in every respect.
Right. No, I agree with that.
And nobody wants to do them, and who can blame them?
Well, I certainly wouldn't.
And so... But anyway, I think interest rates are likely to stay low. And that will mean
the prices will keep going up in part on
the housing prices will not be deterred
Right.
I mean, in other words, if there was a supply of houses in the affordable range, everybody would be able
Well,
to.
and part of the problem there is that home builders don't want to.
They don't want to build those. They want to build single-family residences, and also zoning rules are
Right.
rigged in
That's
favor.
changed in California, by the way. They just changed that.
Here, if you go that way, the upper Javelina Trail, or lower Javelina Trail, this is where it comes in.
Yeah.
And it goes up there and into those rocks, like at that first level of rocks along there.
Yeah.
That's where it goes. But anyway.
Well, I think what I'm going to do is just sort of keep my fingers on the pulse of the market.
What I found is you have to.
I mean, the problem is that if the market changes, the things that'll be dropping first are things like what I have. So
That's true.
And the other problem is that it's not a strategy. It's not a very effective strategy right now to sell now and rent.
No.
Because rentals are outrageous.
Rentals are going up, yeah.
Oh, they're going up and they're earning. Do
But
you want to go that way?
no, well, I don't care.
Well, we
Oh,
came that
actually, it
way.
goes.
I don't know that I care either.
It goes here. You have to go here. I think.
Yeah, this is Wild Burro Trail on Hotel.
It's nicer in here.
Well, it is in the shade a little bit.
Well, and the trail is, there's nice vegetation and it's not rough and all.
Yeah.
But I think you just have to, just keep looking.
Well, and be patient.
Yeah, keep spying places, and I mean, the longer you can stay in the house, I mean, you're making money.
Right.
Because
well, unless that market segment starts to decay, and if that happens,
well, but then it's still more possible to move down than to do anything else.
well, yeah, from the financial standpoint.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel as though we got a good place.
Oh, you did.
It wasn't that expensive, and
A big factor for you also was being able to buy it.
well,
Outright,
we
rather
could buy it.
than getting a mortgage.
But I mean, I think we paid a fair price.
Oh yeah, you
I don't-
got in at the last.
Yeah, at the end of it hadn't really. It had
hadn't
another.
gone completely crazy.
Yeah, it had another leg to go up.
Well, it was right before the. Well, no, that's not true.
But we're glad we don't have a dog.
Or a cat.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Bruce. I think the not taking my meds strategy was a good idea.
Well, that's good. You're not feeling dizzy or anything.
No.
Of course, it isn't as hard a hike either, but
Well, it's not as hot either.
that's true. It isn't as hot.
But you're also right, this is not a difficult hike. Do you still get Prince Orders mailings?
I seem to get it once in a while.
When was the last time you were there? Do you remember?
Yeah. I went to my 55th reunion.
Which was which year? 50 would have been...
2014, maybe?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. See, I couldn't go to the 50th. I was going, but the 50th reunion was almost exactly the day when Kay went into the nursing home.
Right. Well, that would have been 2009. Right?
Yeah, so there wasn't really any way I could get away.
Well, we were all back east in 2011, right? For the Echo Farm thing?
Yeah. And then but Rush Smith, our class secretary, there says,
Oh, yeah. So we're now past where we saw the rattlesnake.
no, not quite.
Oh, that's right, right. It was...
But
Watch the...
our class secretary decided to have a bigger than usual 55th reunion because there were people that couldn't come for the 50th.
How much influence does the secretary or whatever they have over that?
Well, as
I
much
guess
as
as
they
much as they want.
yeah. Rush has always been a big promoter of the class.
Uh-huh.
His father went to Penn Charter, and probably his father before that.
Okay.
He was a nice kid. And he wound up in sales. Actually, his own business.
He what?
He was a business broker.
Ah.
Bought and sold businesses for clients.
I wonder if you need a real estate license in Pennsylvania
I don't know.
for that. I don't even know how that's really structured in Pennsylvania.
Well, he told
In
me.
California, for example, you must have.
He told me when I was there in 2014. He told me that he was virtually retired, but
Right.
he still had clients who had small businesses,
Right.
family businesses that they needed to sell,
Right.
for whatever.
Right. So he
And-
didn't have to do any prospecting.
So
but he could-
he was helping them out still,
Oh yeah, it was.
but he wasn't.
Where was it? Somewhere a little past this, right?
Might have been right there.
Not that the snake would have. I don't think so. Not that the snake will still be there.
No.
But I guess snakes are territorial.
Yeah. But Rush decided to make the 55th a big deal.
Yeah.
And I think it was, I had committed to go to the 50th reunion.
Right, I remember that.
And then I had to tell him there's no way I could make it. And there were some other people. Jim Coles was also there as a kind of featured guest. Another classmate.
Yeah.
He lived in New Mexico. And he's but so anyway, they put on a bigger reunion. He had a whole, there was the day at the school, and then he had some events planned.
Right.
Another event planned at night. And so I think there was something like 17 or 18 of us out of 80 at that, the nighttime thing. It was at Philadelphia Cricket Club. Anyway, for some reason, Rush Smith always liked me. I didn't treat him any different from anybody else, but he was a nice guy. I remember that days his father and my father would be at football practice.
Uh-huh.
They would come at the end of it, near the end, and they would be watching together. Rush was not a very good football player, but he was on the team.
Uh-huh.
And
I was poking around on Google Maps the other day, and I looked at the street view thing of 433 Plain. It looks like that house has been almost completely rebuilt in much the same way that it was before, but I think they lopped off the top 1 or 2 floors. And somebody has most definitely spruced up the grounds and that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
The picture that they used for that street view was from 2019. And that's gotta have been fairly recent stuff because, you know, a couple of years or so ago when I last looked at that, it had not been, you know, renovated in any meaningful way.
Uh-huh.
It was interesting, I was looking at Wikipedia. I can't remember where I started, but one of the things that I ran across was an article on Germantown. Oh, I know where I started, was on William Penn.
Uh-huh.
And there was a guy by the name of Pastorius, Daniel Pastorius,
Yes.
who bought basically Germantown from Franklin.
Uh-huh.
And then I remembered that one time Jeff and I walked all the way from Penn Charter to Pastorius Park,
Uh-huh.
which is about 5 miles,
Wow.
inadvertently. It was due to a misunderstanding about where we were supposed to meet Mom after school. So instead of going where we were supposed to go, we wound up all the way up at Pastorius Park. Do you know anything about what the solar energy opportunities are in the Philadelphia area? I mean, is it an area where you could have enough power by solar?
I think you could have enough to power most of your house, depending on the
Well, I
size
mean,
of
if
your
you
roof.
got one of those battery things with Tesla cells.
But
I mean, I wonder, you know, obviously wintertime would be the challenge, right?
well, I don't know. Cloudy times would be the challenge.
What would be?
Cloudy times,
Yeah.
and maybe
well, there's still a fair amount of.
winter if you got snow on the thing and couldn't clean it off. In a way, solar home makes more sense in an area like that than it does here.
Why?
Here the problem is cooling.
I'm sorry, here the problem is what?
Cooling,
Yeah, but that's generate. I mean, you can generate enough
not heating.
to cool your house completely.
But you can't make use of any of the passive solar stuff.
The
To-
what solar?
The passive solar
Oh,
is not useful in keeping your house cool,
no.
but it
Well,
makes
heat
the
pumps. I mean, the geothermal heat pumps would.
winter really easy.
geothermal energy would be a big thing back there, I'd say.
Well, yeah, George and Charlotte had a geothermal heat pump.
Did they? How much digging did they have to do for that?
I don't know. Charlotte didn't remember a well or anything.
Well, I don't think it is a well.
But,
geothermal stuff typically has, pipes that run fluid underground to cool.
yeah, and that was years ago. That was,
or heat.
but they had a backup heating system, of course. Propane.
Well, you could also have electric heat too, if you could generate enough, solar energy to meet that need. But that's what I don't know about.
Well, they had backup systems for everything. I mean, they had a solar hot water system, but they also had a propane-powered hot water heater.
Yeah.
And back in those days, they had to be like separate. You couldn't.
Right.
Nobody was making combination units.
Right.
And the same with the heater.
I think I would be inclined, without knowing much about it, I would certainly want to explore whether you could simply use solar generating power to run everything.
Well, sure. But you have to have a big enough surface area.
Right. Well, you have to have enough panels.
Yeah.
Panels are coming way down in price.
Yeah.
Paul Krugman makes a big point about all of the alternate energy stuff having come down much more than anybody anticipated.
Except now you can't get them from China.
Huh? I didn't hear that.
Except now you can't get them delivered from China.
Well, that's going to change.
I suppose that'll change as the big companies are going for private shipping now.
Yeah.
They're not booking on the commercial services. They're chartering their own ships.
That's interesting.
Because the prices for shipping are so high.
I gather there's a container shortage?
Well, it's just a container location shortage.
No.
The containers are in the wrong place.
Which is where?
Well, in the U.S., the excess containers are where the exports come in.
Right.
And are shipped to. So Chicago, for instance, has an enormous excess of containers. It has for years. The problem is that with the shipping rates so high, nobody wants to pay to transport them back to China.
Right.
They can build new containers cheaper, and they can ship them back.
Yeah.
And so, of course, the ships would rather have paying cargo or not paying minimal fees.
Well, yeah,
So, yes, there's a shortage, and of course the container manufacturing has slowed up
right.
because of COVID.
Right.
Most of the containers are made in China.
There are the most strangest shortages of one flavor or another. It's just really hard to fathom. Right
Yeah.
now, I cannot find any place to buy the dog food, the canned dog food that I normally feed you.
Have you tried Chewy.com?
Yes. And they are out of it. Every place that I've checked is out of it right now.
Well, they're waiting on some container, and there's something like 60 ships waiting
no.
to unload off LA.
I think that Eukanuba dog food is now being manufactured in Australia. And I think the company that used to own it sold Eukanuba as a brand.
Yeah, and for years they were shipping, they were shipping the stuff in containers, which was the way to do it. It was cheap. And dog food is not a high value item.
No.
Compared with other things.
Right now it's $25 roughly for a package of, a case of 12.
Yeah, but in terms of shipping, they can't pay $20,000 or $30,000 to ship a container from Australia.
Well, I think there's all kinds of stupid stuff that went on because businesses are so short-sighted about this stuff now. I mean, nobody has any inventory of any kind anywhere.
That is very true. We went through years since the 80s. Since the 80s, we went through
just in time.
Years of just in time thinking. And
boy, was that stupid and wrong. You could tell that even at that time. But it was
well, it wasn't stupid and wrong at the time, but
no, but I mean the problem is that there are definitely periods when you do not want to be running your business.
But every kind of business move creates tensions, right?
Right.
It creates something that you're not able to do as well.
Right, but the problem is if you're not paying attention, then you're going to miss the signals.
Well, if you miss the signal that it's time to shift back, you're in trouble.
Well, and then of course when there's a pandemic, there's not really much of a send ahead.
And the other thing is, short-term financial objectives are more important than long-term ones.
Right.
And so people, who are doing what they consider being just making out with a just-in-time system, that goes to the hotel, I think.
Yeah, no, I don't want to go there.
They think they're just making out with a just-in-time system, so it's going to be hard to move them to do something that's going to require them to spend more up front.
Well, that's the whole problem with so-called efficiency.
And with the stock market-based system.
Well, the worst thing that's ever happened to American business is the focus on this COVID.
Yeah. Do you remember the data point scandal of the 80s?
Vaguely.
That came up in my logistics class. I was telling my students about it.
Well, let's see what time is it.
We've been out 2 hours.
Yeah, so it's 11:17. I mean, by the time we get anywhere, it's going to be lunchtime.
Yeah.
I just wanted to checkpoint that. calibrate my stomach.
It's a lot there to calibrate.
Yeah, I know.
Me too.
A big part of that is related to weak spinal muscles and stuff.
Yep. It's always something.
Of course, Ruby never worries about that. If she's hungry, she's hungry.
Yep.
She doesn't have to think about whether it's time or not. Hey, you've got a piece of cactus stuff on the outside of your right shin.
Oh, I see it.
Do you want something to pull it off with? Because it's going to take something like that. Now it'll be on the bottom.
Well, it'll walk off on the bottom. I wonder how long this is.
What?
5%. We might make it back.
Oh, you're worried about the battery?
Yeah. We're not that far.
Well, we're at 4 miles right now.
So it's going to be about 4.5
Yeah.
when we get back.
It'll last another half mile, or does it matter if it doesn't?
Doesn't matter if it doesn't. It should shut down gracefully.
Does it warn you when it is?
Not really.
I mean, it doesn't beep at you or anything?
It may. But the beep and the shut off are pretty close together.
I bet there's a setting as to when it warns you. And you could probably increase the differential between when the warning is and when it actually...
Well, there's no setting for that.
Huh?
There's no setting for that.
Really?
No.
That's...
There's not much settings except there's so many settings for the camera and the video
Right.
that they don't have room for settings for anything else. The other camera I had would actually wipe out the whole flash drive.
Oh, man. Really?
When it shut down, yeah.
You mean if it powered itself?
Yeah, if it powered itself off. And it would erase it.
Wow.
That's why I exchanged it for this one.
Yeah, that would be annoying. Some of these houses are really quite nice.
Yeah.
A lot of windows.
Well, that's a good thing to do if you want a view.
Well, without any doubt. I need to dump the stuff out of my shoes.
Well, there's a good place to sit at the end.
Well, is my car.
Well, there's a shed there with
Oh.
a picnic table. Back of the bathrooms. It's a nice spot. We'll be there in a few minutes.